Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning into All India Runners Motivation. Today's guest is Guru Murthy Nayak, and I would say that he's a superstar because he has ran for Bombay University and for the state for many years. He has also ran and trained with the best of all Indian athletes of middle and long distance. If you look at his runography, I would say his runography includes he's a winner of 1,500, 5,000, and 10,000 meters, even cross country and half marathons. And he represented Bombay University for many years, and he was a winner for all the 3 years he represented. He has ran more than 100 plus half marathons, has got 75 plus medals, podium levels actually. He has also represented Maharashtra in National Cross Country Championships for 2 years, and also represented Bombay University for 4 years in all the inter-university athletic and cross-country championships. So, welcome to the show, Gurumurthy. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for giving us the opportunity. And
Thanks for
Indian
coming in.
motivation, it's a pleasure that Indian motivation runners are getting all the runners all across the globe. What I can say.
Thank you. We are trying our best to motivate the runners in our country, and we hope that with the videos what we are sharing, people would look at it and people would actually get to know the life of an athlete and how much struggle and sacrifice is required to reach to a certain level. And we hope that they will get motivated to ultimately win a medal for us in the all the games, especially the Olympics, which we are missing till now.
Definitely, we're waiting for it very,
We are
and
also
hope to
very,
get and hope to get it very soon
yes,
in Tokyo.
absolutely, yes. Like you had told me earlier, Avinash Sable is proving out to be one of the best runners, right? What is your opinion
Yes.
about him?
He's working very hard and he's giving his best. And what recently in Delhi half marathon what he has done, which was no one has expected, an Indian can run in 1 hour this thing for 30 seconds for the half marathon, which everyone is waiting, and hope he will do it below 1 hour very soon.
Okay, fine. That's nice. And his pet event is the 3,000 meters steeplechase, and I hope he does very well. I think he has done extremely well, breaking Sainis's record multiple times, and he has
Yes.
gone ahead and broke his record couple of times. His own record he has bettered. I think 2 or 3 times he's broke his own record, right?
Three times
Sable?
he's broken his own record, and now it stands at 8:21, 8
Okay.
minutes 21 seconds for steeplechase.
Okay, that's fantastic. So this interview is all about you. So let's get chatting to you about you. Can you just tell a brief about your childhood days? I know where were you born and which schools and college did you attend, and how did this love for running start?
See, I was born in the year 1977, and we were four brothers and three brothers and two sisters living in the small area called Khar Danda, which is a fisherman colony, and which is close to the Jew beach. And when we used to go to the beach, I used to see people running and here and there. But I always had a wish to do something. But I was attracted towards hockey.
Okay.
So when I was playing hockey, I used to never get chance to get into my school team. And my coach used to always tell me, "You are good in running long runs. So why don't you go for long distance running?" So at the age of 13, my school sir made me run. Joe Pereira, he made me run a school road race. We had recently started a road race in a school. So where it was a 3 kilometer run, where I was competing with all my senior runners of my school, and I was very short, 4 feet height guy. So I defeated everybody over there, and all was shocked that such a small guy had come at the age of 13 and defeating all of us. So sir was very impressed, and then he made me to run inter school and all. So then first my race was at Bandra Inter School, where all good runners were there, and I stood second over there. Bandra Inter School road race, which was
Okay.
3 kilometer run.
Okay.
And from there onwards, my journey started
That's wonderful.
of running.
Wonderful. That's so nice to hear. If it doesn't for your sir, then maybe you would have still been, wanting to pursue your first love, which was hockey.
Yes, and then I have trained under many coaches also. So my first coach was Sarwal sir, who was from Khalsa College, where because I used to join summer vacation camps a lot
Okay.
during vacations because we wanted to do something. So and in those days we used to more get involved in games and all.
Okay.
So I used to love. Our school sir used to make us join summer camps and all. So my first camp was in Khalsa College. Then it was too far, so then I joined Claude Fernandez, who was our second coach. Then he used to make us do a lot of. He was a sprinter. So when he saw us, he said, "You all are long distance runner," and I have my good friend Simon D'Souza. So he introduced me us during a Bombay Inter School athletic meet at Brabant Stadium to
Okay.
Simon D'Souza. So Simon sir was used to train people at the beach. So he said, "You all are close to the beach, so why don't you come and join me?" So in '92, I joined Simon Sir. So Simon Sir trained us very well, and then it was a thing that we reached up to the national level. And
Wonderful.
then when Simon Sir was planning to give up coaching, he introduced me to Track Totters group, where I was under Phillips Sir.
Okay.
But then unfortunately, Phillips Sir was under some medical issues, so he was also quitting coaching. Then there was nothing. There was a group, very big group in Mumbai, and all international long distance were there. So it was Frankie sir. So then I approached Frankie sir, can I join your group? So without hesitating, he said yes, you all are welcome. And the best part in those days, none of the coaches charged us a single penny,
Oh, okay.
which I still feel proud that Simon sir, Frankie sir, Philip sir, they used to spend from their own pocket. Simon sir used to give us money when we used to go for any events from his own pocket.
Okay.
Then he used to give us dry fruits and everything. Frankie sir used to travel all the way from his Bombay Central to Priyadarshini Park every day on his scooter,
Okay.
and he used to this uh, waste his own petrol and everything for our betterment and for the growth of all the athletes across the Mumbai. And
Okay.
we had a huge group of 25 to 30 people, and maximum were international runners, and all were from army, railways, police, and everything. So that helped us a lot because see, when you train with good people and who are better than you improve yourself automatically.
Okay.
So when I trained under Frankie's, and Frankie's technique was fabulous, so where I improved a lot.
Okay. Wonderful.
But yeah, but unfortunately I have to give up sports because my family financial this thing was not good. So when I was peaking up in the year 99 and 2000,
Okay.
so my family wanted me to work. So they said, why you're still running, and it's been so many years, 12 years you have already done professional sports, and there's nothing happening for you. So at the age of 23, I tried my level best to get into the railway team and all.
Okay.
But unfortunately, something or the other issues used to happen. And that time, the age limit for railway was 23
Okay.
to get into the day. Then
Okay.
my family said, your age is already, this thing has gone. So better now leave sports. But that was the day where I cried a lot because when you are improving and you are coming up to a peak, and you have to quit sports because it was a 12 to 13 years long journey,
Yeah.
and quitting was and to give up for family this thing of passion.
Okay.
So I have to give up my passion of sports and get I had to hunt for a job.
Okay. That's
So I
that's
hunted for a
sad.
job. So my first job was for 500 rupees in a school as a
Okay.
sports coach.
Okay.
So in 2001.
Okay.
So I used to get 500 rupees. Then slowly I got a job for 3,000 rupees.
Okay.
Then it went up to a different level. Then
Very nice.
I joined Talukers
Yeah.
and reached up to operational head of across the India, and used to take care of 10 branches. And
Very
that
nice.
was a growth. But passion never dies. It says. Then
Yeah.
when
We
I used
can
to feel
we can see that because you have that super fit Juhu T-shirt right now. So
yes.
I think and I can see people running in that T-shirt. I love that T-shirt. Very nice.
Yes,
Is this any race you participated in?
no, it's every year we make a group T-shirt for a group, Superfit group.
Okay,
So before the Tata Mumbai Marathon, we have a launch of T-shirts which we all our group runners wear it.
okay.
So this is
So,
the T-shirt of
so
our
when
group.
you started running, at that time, which was your first serious run? Because the first run, of course, that was a school run, and you came first. You beat all the boys, but you were not very
Yeah,
serious at that time, right? You just ran.
yeah.
Which was your first serious run? Where you started getting trained under a coach, and which was the first race?
See, my first serious run was a IC Colony mini marathon, which was in Borivali, which was a district level, and where it was because what happened during those days, road races and competition used to be a lot. Every Sunday we used to have road races. So that was and the competition was very high. So IC Colony mini marathon was there, and I was under 20.
Okay,
So Simon sir and we all had gone, and in under 20 there was a Navy guy, Satyendra Singh, and all our top runners were there, and that was the first race. So I was not confident of winning the race, but I said, "Chalo, let's give my best."
okay,
So I was just following that Satyendra, that Navy guy, and all. So at the last 400 or 500 meters, I kicked myself and I moved ahead, and that was the I won the race. And then that was a time when people know he's come into sports
okay,
because he's defeated the guy who was from Indian Navy.
okay,
And that was and next day my name came in headline, and from my group Ryan D'Souza was this thing, and TS Prem Singh. So a newspaper cutting came. Students of Simon D'Souza won the race. Ryan D'Souza and Gurumurthy Naik won the title. And Ryan D'Souza was one of the national champion that time of this thing in men's category.
okay,
And I dominated the junior level.
okay,
And then after that there was no I never looked back.
okay,
So after that I was selected for the district team for to participate in the state cross country championship. And then every year I used to participate for the state cross country championship.
okay,
And in junior level I couldn't do much better, but once I reached the senior level, and when I trained under all the top runners of India, so like Samir Jamdar, Bahadur Prasad, and Dheeraj Parihar, all we had trained together. Then Leelamma, Satyam, and all, Sanjeev Nair, and all. So then in senior level I performed well. So Mumbai University, it was a senior level competition, so I had to dominate a lot. And then in state cross country at senior championship in Aurangabad, I stood second behind Samir Jamdar. And second time I stood in Kolhapur, I was behind Sanjeev Nair, who was an international runner
okay.
and who was a junior Asian champion.
Okay. So,
So
when you start for the race, because of so many podium finishes, I want to ask you this question: is that how do you prepare for the race, and what do you tell yourself when you're running, or is there anything you tell yourself कि यार ऐसा करना है मुझे, and this is what I have to do? Anything for the youngsters on winning? What can you say? What can you teach them?
see, I always whenever I run, I situate, I improve my timing. Where today if I run for 5 kilometers 16 minutes, for example, so I see it situate next my next event I should get it below 16 minutes. So I used to see I improve my timing so that automatically I'll move ahead. So we used to more concentrate on the timings. So every race or during the training also, for even when you're doing long run or speed workout and all, we used to see it, we used to improve our timing during a practice also, so that automatically will improve in a race. So I used to run for timings also that time. So
Oh,
timing was more important rather than places.
okay.
And you won't believe that in those days there used to be trophies. So we used to love those trophies and have a lot of collections of trophies. Cash
Okay.
prize used to be very less.
Okay.
And in the year 1998 there was an event of half marathon which was held in Mumbai, where they have invited all the top runners of Maharashtra,
Okay.
and they have kept a cash prize of 10,000, which was the highest prize money
Okay.
for the half marathon. Otherwise used to give 100 or 500 rupees
Okay.
for, so 10,000 rupees was this thing. So we all runners were there, and we were lined up in Ghatkopar somewhere near one of the area. So they said your race will start from here, and we'll have to go up to Lower Parel. So that was a 21-kilometer event. So everybody was running together. I and my friend were there. We one day before the race, we had a look at the route,
Okay.
where to go, how to go, from where to pick up, how to increase our speed, from which kilometer, from where, and all. So we started the race. We all were in a bunch of 8 to 10 people were there in the bunch, but I was feeling very comfortable. So I told my friend who was there with me, see, it's very comfortable. I feel the pace is very comfortable. Now it's better to kick out and move ahead because it's a huge money. 10,000 rupees is a huge money. So that 10,000 money was there in the mind. So I was just my eyesight was on that huge amount,
Okay.
because that would have helped my family and everyone, and for me also to improve on my diet and all.
Okay.
So I kept my eyesight on that and kept on moving, and I kicked from the after 13 kilometers. So after 13 kilometers, when I kicked, I moved ahead. So the gap was around 500 meters between me and the second guy.
Okay.
So my friend said, "You move ahead. I feel the pace is very fast for me."
Okay.
So I moved ahead and I won the race, and I got that 10,000, which was a huge amount. When I came with that amount to my house, my mom and dad were happy. They said, "We were against you for to take part in sports, but we never thought you'll get money also in sports."
Okay, that's such a nice story, and I hope your and I'm sure your parents would have been really proud of you at that time.
Yeah.
Everyone thumping their chest and saying, "Mera beta," running karta hai, and he got for 10,000. They would have, the whole clan would have known about it.
Yeah, because when I used to take once I was very small, at the age of 13, my dad had taken us to one of the event in Thane, state level competition, Bharat Petroleum state level competition, which used
Okay.
to be one of the topmost event before the season starts. So I used to see a lot of kids and their parents coming up, and the runners who were winning, the parents used to hug, and I used to see them. "Arey, what is this? Parents are getting happy." So that day I thought, "Arey, one day I'll get my. I should also do something for my parents,
Okay.
where my parents should feel proud." And this is the best event in Maharashtra, Bharat Petroleum. What was one of the best event and toughest event to win a medal. So that I had set in my mind. One day I'll get my parents. I'll make my parents also feel proud that his son has done something.
Okay.
So after 3 or 4 years, I won that Bharat Petroleum state level event in 1500 meters, which was a very proud moment. So my parents and all of this thing, but my mind was different, that I should make my parents proud.
Okay.
And then when after a few years, and when I was in college, so I was dominating the junior college and the degree college. So my college decided to give me a best athlete award.
Okay.
So, but during that time, I was in Gwalior for the All India University competition.
Okay.
So I thought, "Arey, I'll miss this opportunity of taking the award." Then I called my dad. I said, "Can you go?" But he was against it because he
Okay.
was a very simple person.
Okay.
So he said, "I'll go, but someone will have to accompany me." So he took my uncle along with him, and then I felt proud that my dad is collecting the Best Athlete Award trophy on behalf of me
Okay.
in college.
Yeah.
So that was the happiness where you want your parents to be proud about your things.
Okay.
So that was the happiness when my dad collected the trophy in front of all in the auditorium.
Wonderful. That's such a nice story. I'm sure your father would be telling that to or
Yeah.
the story would have been repeated many times in the family meetings.
Yes, yes.
That's nice. So at that time, you actually had trained under three major big coaches. I would say Simon sir was there, Frankie sir was there, and also Philip sir was there, right?
Phillips, yeah.
Yeah. Can you just tell me, about their coaching style and how each one was different and helped you in your journey as an athlete?
See, Simon sir made us to develop our base. and polishing was done by Frankie sir.
Okay.
Simon sir made us strong, and he saw us from a child only.
Okay.
So he is like a godfather to me also.
Okay.
So he made us so strong and this thing base. But when he wanted to quit his coaching journey, we were not happy because see that attachment was there
Yeah.
when a coach and student,
Yeah.
and he never had that feeling, that strictness of the way of. He used to take us like a child, as like a small kid, and all. He used to train us, and he used to guide us, he used to help us, he used to do out of the way. Sometime after the training also, he used to take us to his house and give us breakfast and all,
Okay.
and give us dry fruits. Chalo, come and have breakfast, because we used to train on the beach for 3 hours,
Okay.
so without water or anything. So sometime then you should, chalo, now have water and breakfast, then only you have to go home.
Okay.
So he used to do like that way. Then
Okay.
Phillips used to make us, had also made us good in speed, because he was more into speed, into sprinting for 400, 800 meters, the same,
Okay.
and 100 meters. So he has improved us in speed. But
Okay.
then when we saw, when I noticed I can do much better. So Frankie sir was one of the this thing who polished us, and he trained us, and he helped us to reach a different level,
Okay.
because during his training he had created more than 20 international runners in Maharashtra,
Okay.
and people used to feel that we have to get trained under Frankie sir, because he was one of the best coaches. So that was the and once I remember we were going to Delhi by train. So ticket was given by my dad and all. Sir gave me that ticket money to go to Delhi for an event.
Okay.
He said, "So you take this ticket money from me, and you can go to Delhi for
Okay.
the event."
Okay.
So our coaches used to help us a lot
How about Phillips,
during
sir?
those days. Phillips sir was very good, and Phillips sir also used to take his house and give us that boiled chana and all
I heard he
after
was
our
very
event.
strict.
He was strict, but see, but during coaching he was strict, but after training and after once you finish a workout,
Yeah.
he was like a friend. He
Okay.
used to then he used to take us, all of us, to his house, 15 20 people,
Yeah.
and then give us boiled chana, bananas, and juice and everything.
Okay.
So which is lacking in today's coaching, which I feel,
Okay.
where coaches in past used to give from their own,
Okay.
which no one must have done till now, and all those past coaches have done.
Okay. The reason I asked Mr. Phillips sir was very strict because I read few articles where he was saying, I think Xavier D'Souza was saying, once he had
Yeah.
won and something he said, and the cup fell down and Phillips sir gave him a nice tap on the back of his head, saying, "Why did you drop the cup?" so
Yes.
so that is the story I heard about Phillips sir. Uh,
Yeah,
so
because yeah, what happened? Those strictness made us to get a disciplined life.
okay,
Made us to be see others. If somebody is not strict and somebody is not there, so we today what we are there because of all our coaches.
okay.
So we don't have any bad habits or anything. So our focus is different, and our focus is that we have to work more harder and give our best.
Okay, good. I mean, you are trained under, you're trained with, not under, with many athletes who had gone to be, international. Uh, and you said 20 athletes, Frankie sir had given. Can you tell me all the 20 athletes' name?
See, Nilama, Satyabama, Sanjeev, Dasharat Tiga, Ganpati Bhusnur, then Sanjeev Nair, then Shiv Kumar Yadav, then Siliamma was there. Shiv
8.
Kumar Yadav is 8, and Samir Jamdar was a national champion in
Okay.
this thing, and he used to run in 14:20 something in 5,000 that time in 95 96.
Okay.
Then that's the figures. Then Sharda Gawande was there.
10.
Then Sharda Gawande, Sunil Bille was there.
Okay. 11.
Then Vijay Kashte was there.
12.
Vijay Kaste, Sunil. I still have to get
Bahadur
correct
Prasad
those.
and Dheeraj Parihar also you ran with them, and also Dheeraj
They,
Parihar's coach.
yeah, but Dheeraj Pariyar coach was Virendra Singh.
Yeah.
When they used to come to Mumbai, Dheeraj Pariyar coach Virendra Singh taught us to do circuit training.
Okay.
That was the first time where I learned what is circuit training,
Okay.
training under Virendra Singh sir. And he had approached me to come to Jhansi
Okay.
because there were very good runners in Jhansi, and he saw us that we are improving and we are doing our best this thing. So he
Okay.
told us, "You why don't you come to Jhansi where we have all our good runners, the Dheeraj, the Durga, and all. Junior Bahadur was there, Bahadur Singh and all were there.
Okay.
So, but my parents said going so far they were not comfortable because we were 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
So they said, where will you all go and what will you all eat? What they were more this
Worried.
thing
Okay.
worried about us. So that was the what I can say. It was our bad luck. Otherwise, we would have much in at the age of 15, 16 only. We could have done much better
Okay.
if you had gone to Jhansi and trained under Virendra Singh. So
Yeah. Maybe sir should have come and talked to your parents first. So that should have been more comfortable for them actually.
no, because my dad was against me running because he was strict. He was to say sports will not give you anything.
Acha. Okay.
You
Uh,
have to study and you have to earn.
yeah, that was a way of life at that time. So I guess everyone's parents were the same, so it's no different. So at that time, when you were training, can you describe the weekly schedule of yours? What were you doing in a week?
See, weekly schedule. What we used to do is we used to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We used to do speed workout. Where the speed workout used to be 1 kilometer run for five times or 8 times, and 400 meters, 800 meters, and 600 meters long speed workout we used to do at Priyadashini Park.
Okay,
And evening, if it's in the evening, morning we used to do around 10 to 12 kilometer easy running.
okay,
And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays we used to do long runs at Mahalakshmi Race Course. So our long run used to be around 20, 25 kilometers, and morning used to be around 7 to 8 kilometers easy run. So if it's in the evening, so weekly our average weekly run used to be 150 plus kilometers
okay,
in a week.
okay.
And once a week, Sunday we used to take rest, or Sundays we used to go for any events whichever we used to have. So our weekly average used to be 150 kilometer plus.
150 kilometers.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And uh, uh, was it coming down when it actually nearing the competition, or how was it?
Yeah, before the event, we used to focus more on speed.
Yeah.
So see, the training used to be of this thing, off season, pre-season, and season.
Okay.
During off season, we used to see that we maintain our this thing, and we used to work more on strength training and all, and work on endurance.
Okay.
During pre-season, we used to have speed and long runs.
Okay.
And during before the events, we used to have concentrate more on speed workouts,
Okay.
and our distance used to reduce. We used to reduce the distance.
Okay.
And 1 or 2 days before the event, we used to do tapering.
Tapering. I mean,
So now things have changed. Now it is said 1 week before the event you have to do tapering and all.
yeah, that was my next
So
question because you're a coach now. So how has the
yeah,
training changed now as compared to your times? As a coach, are you doing things differently? Or has the schedules changed, or is it
yeah.
still the same?
See, we work nowadays. More of the runners are recreational runners, and their lifestyle is different. So we have to take care of their whole, because some are working, some are into their business and all. So everybody are now to relieve the stress level and
Okay.
get themselves into fitness level. So we work according to their daily lifestyle also.
Okay.
So because after training they have to work for 12 hours, 14 hours, and they take the stress of the business or work, whatever it is. Because today's world is of stress, what I feel.
Okay.
And recreational and all many runners come for to improve their fitness level and make their mind fresh and
Okay.
make themselves more active. So things now, our training schedule changes before the now see if there we my group normally take part in good events which is held after September or October.
Okay.
So October to January, Tata Marathon is the last event for all my group and most of the runners across the India. So after Tata Marathon, we try to give them off-season training. We start off-season training, and sometime we give them a break also of a month, and then
Okay.
we come back and work on strength training. And during rainy season, we work on endurance. And before the event, 1 or 2 months before, 3 months before the event, we work on speed and endurance both.
Okay.
And nowadays, it is said yeah, before any event, like big major event, you should do tapering for 1 week
Okay.
and then recovery then
Okay.
after that 2 or 3 days. So things have changed a lot. So tapering, recovery run we used to be out of this thing early in those days for 1 or 2 days only. Now it is been stretched to 1 week.
Okay. You were primarily a middle distance runner. I mean, you were running 1,500, 5,000, and 10,000 meters in cross country also. When did you graduate into marathons, half marathons and full marathons, and why did you do
Mm.
that?
See, frankly speaking, I used to do 1,500 meters, which was my pet event,
Okay.
where I did 4:01. My best timing was 4 minutes 1 second, and I used to do 5,000 meters in 15:30, and 10,000 also in 33 minutes, and a half marathon in 1 hour 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah.
So yeah, so what happened when we used to see they, because what happened after a few years the event started dropping down, the road races and everything started dropping down in 97, 98 onwards. So more used to be in half marathon. So I said let's switch on to half marathon, because when we are training we have to participate also in some or the other event. So half marathon used to take place and all. So we said let's shift to half marathon. So started shifting to half marathon, uh, shifted myself into half marathon. But I always before leaving the sporting career, I said once I'll do half full marathon in 2:30, 35, and then after that I'll quit.
Okay.
But that was still a dream till now, because I have to quit sports very early.
Okay. You can still do it because there are people of your age still doing 230.
Yes,
So it is still possible.
definitely.
So is your training level now like the elite level you used to do at that time, 150 kilometers per week, or has it changed? Is
now
it
it's now it's now it's
how
changed,
much is the average
because
weekly mileage now?
now average weekly mileage goes up to 80 to 90 kilometers per week.
Okay.
Because what I mean, it's difficult to do coaching and do self training,
Okay.
because when you are doing coaching, you have to have more focus on your coaching. You cannot look at your this thing. So what happened? I do my coaching in the morning, then I take care of my fitness center whole day. Then late night I go for long runs after 9 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
So then I have to take care of my body also. I have to get proper rest. So 80 90 kilometers per week I do it nowadays,
Hey,
because
80 90
lifestyle has
kilometers is
changed.
also equally light, I would say. It's not easy to run. Yeah, the 80 90 kilometers, doing what you're working for so many hours and still doing 80 90 kilometers. So when do you have a dinner then?
See, I have a late dinner by 10:30.
Okay, so you come back after
Sometime
the
it
run
goes,
and have your dinner.
yeah. Sometime it becomes at 11 o'clock at night.
Okay,
Then get up early in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning and go for coaching.
okay, okay. So I mean, when I look at your career, you have actually represented, Maharashtra state. You've done a lot of events. Any reason why this could not progress to national or international levels?
See, I reached up to national level, but progress was not there because lack of support and financial support from my family.
Okay,
Because see, those days, uh, one a person one person from the family used to earn, and you used to survive. 5 or 6 people in the family used to survive.
okay,
But later, the trend started changing, where lifestyle and the cost of living became costlier.
yeah,
So my what I mean, we were four brothers, three brothers and two sisters. So what happened? My dad said most of my friends at my age, after 2021, maximum my school friends and my neighbors and all used to work. So my parents said, "You have grown up now 22 years and you are not doing anything, running. What is this? At least
okay,
you should earn and get into something earning at this thing."
okay,
So at the age of 23, my father said, "Now is enough. Your last this thing. last year of sports, and now you'll have to earn, and there's no option for you
Okay.
because you cannot keep on running because those days when you used to travel for state competition or anything, for state meet we used to get 35 rupees per day as an expense amount.
Okay.
And if you go to a place like Delhi and all, 35 rupees per day is nothing. So my parents used to feel like, "Hey, what is this? You are spending from your own
Pocket.
pocket," and
Yeah.
so it's like you are wasting your time and this thing for so. And maximum, all your friends and all your neighbors or of your age are working. So you have to hunt for a job. Now it's enough for sport.
Okay.
And our financial background was not so good, so I had to give up my sports this thing for family and everything
Yeah.
and start working
Okay.
because
That is.
22 23 years used to be too much for that time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at that time, if you were actually in in railways or in services, maybe things would have been different because then you would have
Yes,
had an income for that. But I think now you are realizing your goal of creating stars. Through your fitness academy. So, can you just tell a bit about your fitness academy, Naik Fitness Academy? Where is it, and how can people join, and what do you do there?
see, my Nike Fitness Center is in Mira Road, where people can call us and contact me on my number, and they can search on the website or Google it, and they can join me. And I see to it. I when I go there, even if I have a trainer in my premises, I'll go and train people
Okay.
because training is my passion. I cannot sit as a owner that I am a owner of the fitness center and sit and relax. So I get myself involved by training people, and sometimes my trainers relaxed. I go work on it. So because see that because we have that soul. Our soul says you cannot sit. You have your passion and your this thing, your fitness, this thing. So you have to get up and work. So that relaxation is not there. So I train people myself, and now I'm training my daughter.
Okay.
She is 5 years old, and she looking at my all my trophies and all, and she says, "Dad, I also want to get more trophies like you." And I have a lot of sports equipments and all at home.
Yeah.
So sometimes she'll start jumping, and sometimes she'll say, "I'll run." Recently, last year, she at the age of 4, she ran 1 kilometer race without getting tired.
Okay.
So Simon sir called me and said, "She's just 4 years old. Why are you making her run?" So I said, "Sir,
Yeah.
I'm not making her run. She herself is running
Okay.
because she says, 'Papa, you run so much, so and you get medals and everything. So I also want to get medal.'"
Okay.
So I am training my daughter now because let's motivate her in a passion what she likes, because
Okay.
our duty as a parents now, because what our parents didn't do, we have to do it for our kids.
Yeah.
So I want to motivate and push her also what she likes.
Okay.
Today she likes running, so I'll make her happy and I'll see to it. I'll motivate and push and guide her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Future we cannot predict what will happen in future, so
Yeah.
what she likes, let us push and give her motivation.
Okay.
That is what I feel.
The question is about, but it's such a nice story about your daughter wanting to run and get more trophies. Maybe you need to buy one more flat to put the trophies there, na? So you already have so many, yeah. So
Yes,
I can see your daughter behind you. You can say my
yeah,
hellos to her.
yeah, she
You're trying
just
to hold her and push her. It's okay. Okay, she can come in the front, not an issue. So she's just behind you, behind the left
yeah,
side. She's standing. I can see her head there. Okay,
yeah.
so has the diet changed, as compared to the earlier times? Or my question is that, do the sportsmen really need to, follow a specialized diet for improvement, which you are not doing anyway? I mean, during
Yeah,
your time.
yeah. See, it is must to have a good diet
Okay.
because nutrition plays a lot of big role in your performance also. What we couldn't do it, what we feel now. If you we would have done have a good nutritionist or good this thing, so we would have done much better. And in India, maximum most of the people don't follow good diet.
Okay.
Elite athletes now, the things have changed. Those days
Okay.
they used to not have nutritionists and all. And nowadays you have nutritionists, you have physios, massages, and everything. So nutrition is must. And I feel if you if you with your along with your training, if you follow good nutrition diet, you'll your performance will boom.
Yeah. It's okay that she is there. Okay, just relax. So, what kind of recommendations would you give on nutrition for athletes who are doing middle and long distances? What are the
Uh,
things they should care for?
See, they should have more of carbs and protein at present because your body requires fiber, vitamins, carbs, protein, and minerals, everything. So, a good nutritionist only will be able to guide them. And because nowadays, sports nutrition is different rather than fitness nutrition. So, go for the sports nutrition under proper sports nutritionist who can guide you and help you a lot.
Okay. That's wonderful. Currently, how do you think the Indian athletics? I would not say Indian athletics right now, but I would say how is Maharashtra athletics doing currently? Because you're more involved
Uh,
in Maharashtra, so if you can just tell us a bit about the state.
See, Maharashtra athletics is improving a lot because the president of AFI, Adil Sumariwala, is from Maharashtra only.
Okay,
So he's doing wonders, and he's trying to create something at the grassroots at present, which Khelo India Khelo, which has come up, and now they are planning to have Khelo India Khelo coaches training and everything and they are trying to uh, develop more coaches in Maharashtra, and by having more of trainings and for the coaches, so that coaches can go and train at the school level first, where
okay,
if you create good athletes at the grassroots level, which is school, so then you can come up to state and district and national level, and then you can go up to international level. So they are Adil Sumaran and his team is working very hard, and they are trying to improve a lot. And many of them are trying to do talent hunt in Maharashtra across by going to rural places and finding the talent across Maharashtra and India.
okay.
And because you'll find good runners from the rural area.
I mean, a lot of the runners, including Avinash Sable, has come from that, come from that,
Satara.
yeah, from that area.
Yeah.
So Satara is famous for the hill run also, and also for everything else, which is related to running, I guess so. A lot of runners from there.
Yes.
Anybody whom you think might beat Eddie Sequeira's state record, which
Uh,
has stood for 60
at
years now. So,
Edward Sequoia's record, I feel there's one guy called Narendra Pratap. He's also improving a lot. He was, I think, eighth or ninth place at Delhi Marathon this time, recently held at this thing.
okay,
And he's at, I think, 19 or 20 years old, and he's improving. And he's at present settled in Maharashtra.
okay,
So I think he is the one who can come up in future, along with Avinash Sable.
okay.
And there's one more guy called Kisan Tadvi from Maharashtra. He was also there in ninth or tenth place at Delhi Marathon. They are the upcoming athletes which we can see them in future,
Okay.
and hope they break the Edward Sequeira's record, because record has to be broken.
Yeah. So does Guru's predictions on athletes always come true? Because you told me about Avinash Sable, and he just came and broke the national record for half marathon. So are you very good with performance predictions?
See, I always keep a track because being a sportsman and being in the sports field for 30, 32 years, I feel like see, when you're into sports, you should track everything.
Okay.
Otherwise, no use of being a sportsman, because you have to look who is good, who is bad, and sometimes you have to train them.
Okay.
And recently, you won't believe, 2 days back, one guy, Chaiwala, he came to me and told me, I think he's 12 or 13 years. He came to me and said, "Sir, आपका सब फोटो तो देखता हूँ, तो मुझे भी आप मेरे को रनिंग सिखाओ." So I told him, "You work at the age of 12, you're doing say चाय business." He said, "Sir, मैं पूरा दिन चाय बेचता हूँ, लेकिन मुझे आप सिखाओगे रनिंग तो मैं सीखूंगा." So I have decided to train him now, and let's see, because he is a very poor guy. He says, "सर मैं कम से कम 15-20 किलोमीटर चलता हूँ चाय बेचते बेचते,
Acha.
लेकिन मेरे को आप सिखाओ, मेरे को भागना है,
That
मुझे
the
कुछ
base
करना
is
है."
already there.
And
The
he's only 12 years old.
okay.
So I said, let's train him and let's create something. Let's hope he comes and perform and
Yeah.
he does his best. because you
Understood.
never know who can do what wonders.
Okay, that's nice. My final question is that advice for all youngsters, who would like to, be an athlete like you. What advice would you give them? 5 tips from Guru Naik.
See, tips what I can give is first is have disciplined life, because if you don't live a disciplined life, you'll never be able to do anything. Second is work hard. Have set a goal for yourself. Give your best and never give up.
Okay.
If you give up, you'll never go. And never get scared of failures, because failures will lead to success one day or the other day. If
Okay.
you lose a race, don't give up. Don't think that I am a loser. Think a loser only becomes a winner.
Okay.
Now, if you have seen a lot of athletes, a lot of international runners and all, if you see the Eliud Kipchoge and all, they have lost the events in past and now they are world champions. Because until unless you don't get the taste of failure or losing,
Yeah.
you'll never love the taste of winning.
Yeah. Absolutely,
That's
yes.
what
I
I
think
feel.
failures teach you more than
Yes,
success. So I
yes.
think with that thought in mind, I must say thank you very much, Guru, for coming here and spending your time with us. And most importantly, it was such a wonderful story which you told about uh, your life, your family, and people whom you have associated with. It's a great privilege for me to talk to you, and I must thank you from the bottom of my heart for for coming, and a
I
special thank you for everything you're doing to help me to secure more interviews. So there's a big
yes.
thanks for you.
I would like to name my brother also, my elder brother,
Okay,
because I forgot his name to tell you. Because he was the one who used to support me and guide me, my
okay.
elder brother, and I still remember his shoes, which he had given
And
me.
he was
The
giving you power shoes, right?
power shoes that he
Yes,
gave
right.
me. That
Okay.
was the first shoes which I have worn. Others I used to do barefoot running only,
Yeah.
because we used to never get scared and about getting blisters and all. So he used to say he gave me that power shoes for 100 rupees. During those days, 100 rupees was very too much in
Yeah. Yeah.
1989 and all. So that was the highest.
Yeah.
Then
That
now
was the
you were
Nike of
10.
our times, no? That was
Yes,
the Nike of our times, the power shoes.
Nike power shoes. So he because of him and because of his support and love, I have reached up to this level. And
Wonderful.
because of my parents who taught us to live a disciplined life, and along with our coaches, today I am here because of them only, and I would like to thank them.
Okay, fine.
So, and thanks to Indian Motivation Runners to giving us the opportunity,
Thank you very much.
and getting us and making us to know to people what we have done and all. So
Thank you very much.
it's
Thank,
a pleasure.
thank you very much for coming to All India Runners Motivation, and it's a pleasure. Just be online. Let me just yes.